Hi there, welcome to another reaction video. And today we're looking at UFC 3, The American Dream. This event happened in 1994. So I think we'll just start with it. Let you make up your own mind about old school MMA. But I started at this point. They had all the lead-in stuff, you know, skipped a lot of that, the rules and all that sort of stuff. We'll find that out as we go. I think you kind of know what they are. They're limited rule set, but let's start with the doctor. Hang on, wrong button.
Right, Dr. Joseph Eswanek from the U.S. boxing team. He is the official boxing judge.
Eswanek. His name is easy to miswrite, I'm sure.
Official boxing doctor, and I'll tell you, he does a great job. He came in and gave a great talk to the fighters about when cuts are too bad, what to look out for, and when he will interject.
Look at John McCarthy here. He looks about 10 years old.
His opinion, but he cannot, by the way, he cannot stop this fight. That has to come from this man. His name is John McCarthy. He is the referee in two. Big difference now. John can use his judgment and decide to stop the fight, and it will be up to him. After all, he does, in fact, have the best angle.
And they call him Big John.
Yeah, Big John. How big is he? Like 6'6", 250
He's big enough
pounds?
to be in there.
I think the guy that was sitting next to the doctor was previously a referee in the UFC 1 and 2. This could be John's first event.
As a referee.
All right,
exactly.
Now it's time
as
to
a
meet
referee.
Our fighters. I tell you, can you guys feel the spirit here in North Carolina? No knock on Denver, but there is a real electricity here, and it's for this reason. The fighters are about to start, and it's time to meet our first fighter.
The guy on the right, is that Richard Norton? Is he like world kickboxing champion back in the day?
Emmanuel Yarborough.
Meet the proverbial immovable object.
Whoa.
Emmanuel Yarborough.
Yeah.
At 6'8" and 616 pounds, he is the
6'8".
largest professional combat athlete in the world. In 1992, he placed second in the World Sumo Championship. Emmanuel will be difficult to move around the octagon.
I'm Emmanuel Yarborough. Anybody hoping to win tonight has to come through me, and I'm running the Ultimate Fighting Championship straight back to Jersey.
Okay, so wasn't he in the original UFC? Wasn't he the guy that fought the kickboxer and then his teeth got kicked out and then they landed on the judging panel and everyone, it kind of set the tone for everything. 6'8". Don't know his striking technique. It looks like he was preemptive with the power slap there because he wasn't really punching the bag. He was more slapping it. Anyway, needless to say, it doesn't matter how big you are, how heavy you are. This man is a problem for anyone. So your tactics, and I basically have a background. It's a memorable fight, this one. I know who he's fighting. But the tactics employed are the best ones I've seen for this guy.
And there he is, Emmanuel Yarborough.
6'8".
Unbelievable. World's largest athlete.
6'8", 616 pounds. And Jim, from Rahway, New Jersey.
Unbelievable.
Almost didn't make up the step.
He is not just any sumo wrestler. After all, he took second in the 1992 World Sumo Championships. He's a big crowd favorite here.
You'd really have to bring a quick strategy into this. You don't want to get an arm lock or foot lock. You want to choke him out if you can.
Emmanuel Yarborough.
If he's 6'8", then John McCarthy must be 6'5". I didn't realize John McCarthy was that tall. Because they only look about 3 inches apart.
Now in the ring, time to meet his opponent, and it is Keith Hackney.
This guy.
Keith Hackney considers his second-degree black belt in American Kenpo Karate to be his proudest
Look at this guy. Look at his eyes. This guy is no bullshit. He is a fighter.
achievement. His total commitment to the arts represents more than 15 years of intensive training. Keith says the combination of continuous open hand strikes and rapid low kicks will give him the edge in the octagon.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Keith Hackney. I train in the art of Kenpo Karate, and I'm here to test my skills in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
And
There's
test
the
them you
man
shall,
testing
sir.
his skills, 5'9", 5'11", rather, 200 pounds, Kenpo Karate, second-degree black belt. How do you approach this guy?
Okay, so 5'11", so he's giving away nearly a foot. Oh no, 9 inches.
This is what he's always wanted to do, he says, fight in the octagon. He's going to have quick hands and really try to hurt this guy. I look for a cut.
Agree.
If he doesn't cut him, Emmanuel's going to take him down and hurt him.
Yeah, he was kind of happy to get Emmanuel in the first round. Now it's time to go to the tail of the tape. Now this tail of the tape.
Look at
tells a
Emmanuel's pants.
Great story. It's unbelievable. Now look at that. 29, 30.
Let's have a look at this power pants. Emmanuel's 29, so Emmanuel's 7 years younger. He's 9 inches taller. He's 416 pounds heavier. I'm speechless.
36. Look at the age. Then you look at the height. 6'8", Emmanuel Yarborough, 5'11 and a half. Now that's a big deal. What about this, Jim? Do the math. 6'16 and 200.
We don't have to look at the graphics.
This music is fucking
look at it. He's got to
cooking.
really reach. I don't think there'll be any head kicks unless Emmanuel's on his way down. This guy's going to keep his energy and try to use a lot of hands, I think, and really stay
And
away
now
from
it's time to go to the ring announcer, Rich G-Man Goins.
Simple
Goins.
Entertainment, along with Wow Promotions and Panther Productions, presents Ultimate Fighting Championship 3.
Yeah.
Our first competitor is an American sumo wonder, the largest professional athlete in the world. He is from Rahway, New Jersey, second in the 1992 World Sumo Championships and third place at the 1990 U.S. Judo Nationals. Please welcome
Judo
6'8",
Nationals.
618.
Imagine this guy doing an Uchimata on you and then landing on you. You just splatter.
15-pound Emmanuel Yarborough. Yarborough.
Yarborough. Rich Goins loves to say the surname
And his
twice.
opponent from Roselle, Illinois. He holds the rank of second-degree black belt in American Kempo Karate, earned after more than 15 years of training in the martial arts. 5'11",
He's
weighing
ready.
200 pounds, fighting out of the red corner, an amateur boxing record of 12-0, 11 by KO. Please welcome Keith Hackney.
Why? I'm going to pants you to death. John McCarthy looks about 16.
We're about ready to take a look at it. He's got a big mountain in front of him. Here we go, guys.
He's got to move laterally. He's got to stay away.
Exactly. So
He does.
Hackney's
He's got to stay away and try to hurt him.
got to stay away and move because the other guy's going to be slower, obviously, right? You got speed. Oh, power slap to the head.
Gets hit. He's down.
Jesus.
Here he goes.
Oh, shit. This is where not we want to be.
Keith is taking it back.
Whoa. Good
He's
rotation.
gotta be quick. He should get out of there. You gotta get
Shirt's
out of the
ripped already.
corner.
That was a headbutt. Keep a different distance. Here we go.
And through the other gate.
Fucking hell.
The gates are broken open.
The gate, the door broke, and he just threw Keith Hackney out.
600 pounds.
Pushes him out of the ring.
Get it on.
Keith Hackney's pretty
That was
broad, though.
sumo. If you think about it, Ben, that is ultimate
Yeah,
sumo.
fuck.
That was
ready,
interesting.
baby.
He tried to do an old type
He's
of choke
psyched.
with both of his fists on the inside of his neck in Yarborough. It's really interesting. It's very difficult to pull
That was a
off.
close call
I
for
can't
Keith
emphasize
Hackney.
this enough. Yarborough is coming with sumo and judo.
Judo? You mean judo?
And they're talking to each other inside the ring.
Oh, they're talking shit. Okay, I didn't even knew
He
that.
has to stick and move. He has to move.
So Keith's doing the
Really
overhand
get.
slap.
He's got to cut off the ring. Yarborough has to really cut
It's
the ring off. It's very
good
difficult.
tactic
Such a
coming
big
over the
man.
top. See, it's like a Chuck Liddell overhand
He's also
right,
known
but a
for
slap.
his low leg kicks. Low leg kicks.
I don't think he can hurt him with the kick. I don't think he can hurt him with the leg or anything. He has
Look
too
at
much
this
weight
guy.
planted. I don't think he can get any leverage
He's
against
so
him.
casual.
Won't hurt
He's
him.
trying to get the single.
Won't hurt him.
He's dropped him backwards. Emmanuel's in the back now. Shit. Oh, just power
It's
fists.
all Keith Hackney. Emmanuel just
All
covering
illegal
up.
today. Back of
Keep
the
in mind,
head.
the corner can
12 to
stop him with
6.
the towel. The referee can stop it. Keith desperately trying to take out Emmanuel. He doesn't have any chokeholds, Ben. It's obvious. He doesn't have
I
any submission
understand.
holds.
Oh,
He's
good
trying to
hit.
wear him down. He's trying to wear him down. Emmanuel,
He just
it's
gave
over.
in.
That's
Emmanuel
it.
just tapped out.
A big man like
Keith
that. it's
Hackney
very
did the right thing. He
difficult
just
for him to be agile
threw,
on the
he went
ground.
nuclear on him.
Yeah. It was a series of rights and lefts, Jim. It didn't look like anything fancy. Got
Probably
him on
broke
the
his
ground
hand.
and simply beat him.
It wasn't fancy.
Agility. The lack of agility
Hackney just
nullifies all sides.
smashed him.
Now you have to feel the official announcement. Emmanuel Yarborough.
So good tactics by Hackney. Keep moving. As they said, keep moving laterally. Don't let him pin you down. He almost got on top. If he'd gotten on top of him, I think this would have gone another way. And then once Yarbrough's on all fours like that, it's a big man, hard for him to get up, and he's just going to be distracted by these strikes. You know, 1 or 2 is not going to do it, but if you get 20 in a row, you're eventually just going to go off. Can't be bothered.
Gets $1,000 for his effort. Keith Hackney moves on into the
He's still-
semifinals where he will make at least $5,000. He advances. Keith Hackney, who is so calm, so cool, so collected, has advanced. And he beat a bigger
He just
man
looks-
again. Sumo once again goes down. And
Well
I'll
done,
tell
Keith
you,
Hackney.
It looked like Emmanuel's gaining confidence.
He just looks like a guy that you just at a pub somewhere, and then he'd be minding his own business, and then a fight would break out, and then you would regret fighting this guy. He's just got that look about him. And always remember that claw technique he used, like with his, is it karate or Kempo karate? But played it beautifully. Only thing I can't remember, he might have broken his hand. I'm surprised if he didn't break his hand after that. And a few observations, obviously you can't hit to the back of the neck these days or head, and you can't do a 12-6 elbow. So we've moved on a bit there. Anyway, let's see what happens.
As that bout was going on, he was just seemed so out of touch with being on the ground, Jim, and being out of control. It was a new environment for him. Let's go to the replay one more time of Emmanuel actually hitting the canvas.
Smacko.
Now, here we are standing straight up.
Oh.
Emmanuel looks very confident. It's simply
dropped
a
him with
wild
that.
right.
He dropped him.
This happened very early on in the fight.
Well
Emmanuel
done,
gets hit with
Hackney,
his
man.
First punch goes down.
Unbelievable. Were you expecting this to happen?
No, not in the least bit. I thought I would be able to mount the offense, and just wasn't able to put it together.
You know what? It was
Never been hit
incredible.
flush before.
It's absolutely incredible. The way you sat there, you were taking it, and it was just almost like you couldn't get up.
That was part of the strategy, was to take some abuse, but you can only go but so far.
Manuel, you're a true champion for getting in the octagon. It was a real treat to have you here. You got a big heart. It was great seeing you fight. You're a real true asset to the art. It's great having you here.
Thank you.
Back to you, Brian.
Nice, humble guy, actually. He didn't talk any shit. He just said, said it how it was. And I guess that's one of the things, when you're that big, you're not going to lose many fights. You're not going to get hit that often. And, getting hit, one of those things that fighters have to get used to. No one really likes it. But you have to get used to it and not have it put you off your game.
Let's go to a replay right here. Here is Keith just teeing off. Emmanuel is virtually
like
helpless. Now
uppercuts.
he goes down to the ground. He's going to try to withstand the pain, but he's simply in an environment he's not used to being in.
No. Flush, 2, that's
No
on the back of
agility
the
on the
3,
floor, no agility standing
4, 5.
What you saw, I think
Look at this one.
Emmanuel's only chance was early on when
That
he
was
got
at
a
the
hold
back
of
of
him.
the fist too.
This is the hit that really sent him into submission.
What's interesting here is the agility of a big man on the ground. There's so much weight there. It's very difficult for him to be agile or quick enough, because it's just really incredible. I anticipated him to pick him away if he could, but I thought Emmanuel had him over there earlier when he had him down. He really worked out. He wiggled out of it. And got out.
One thing I couldn't
He did
believe,
wiggle.
first time we've ever seen someone go flying into the octagon wall and having a gate open up. How strong is this man, Emmanuel Yarbrough? Actually, he does cut his teeth here, and he
he's
does
not
make some
strong
news.
enough, obviously.
All right, it's time to move on to our next match. Who will
Here we go.
face Keith Hackney? And this is a great, great match. Time to meet a man that's been here before at UFC. He was in UFC 1. He broke his wrist in UFC 2. It kept him out. Now he's back for UFC 3. A lot of people are expecting a lot, so let's meet Ken Shamrock.
Everyone knows Ken Shamrock, right? What
Consistently
a monster
ranked
of a
the
man.
#1 shoot fighter by the Japanese Pancrase Association, Ken Shamrock is a lethal submissions fighter. After losing his
grinding his
semifinal
wrist
match
into
to
that.
champion Hoist Gracie in the UFC 1, Ken was hungry for a rematch.
That's
His 6-foot,
mean.
210-pound frame is equally dangerous in a standing match or on the ground. Ken loves to work the leg, so keep an eye out for those joint locks.
Hi, I'm Ken Shamrock. I lost in the Ultimate Fighting Championship 1. I'm here in the Ultimate Fighting Championship 3 to redeem my performance.
First
There
match
he
at
is.
the Ultimate
Gives a
Fight
great
Championship.
asset.
Yeah, I just reckon these I hate using the term old school, because I think a lot of jiu-jitsu's gone back to the diluted point in martial arts where no one can really fight. They just do techniques, but all the fighting has gone out of it, which kind of annoys me. But you know, this guy here, just tougher than a lot of human beings that are walking around today. And he was a pioneer. And he actually deserves a lot more respect. He probably wasn't the most liked guy back then, but he deserves more respect.
Set to this art also. He's a great guy. He's got a great movie career ahead of him if he keeps that face.
How successful is he in Japan? We're talking about this guy's got a video game named after him.
He has his own cartoon over there. He's a legend. You walk down the street with Ken Shamrock in Japan, it's like walking down New York Street with Joe Namath or Michael Jackson.
It's very interesting. He's wearing shoes, Ben. Jim, he's wearing shoes, which means he cannot kick.
That's right.
He's telling everyone he will not kick. He wants the traction.
Well, he wants to get down on the ground anyway. He wants to get on the mat.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, let's
Yeah, so look, Shamrock's 6 foot, so McCarthy must be 6'3", 6'4".
meet his opponent, who also wouldn't mind getting on the ground. His name is Christoph Leininger.
Judo is Christoph Leininger's
All right,
fighting
judo
style,
player.
and he's one of the nation's best. A second-degree black belt, Christoph is the number 2 ranked 86-kilogram judoka in America. He has been the Arizona State champion more than 10 times and has been a member of the U.S.
See, that was like he just did like a modern...
Second-degree black belt.
Let's just go back to
Christoph
that.
is the number 2 ranked 86-kilogram judoka in America.
Guillotine.
He has been the Arizona State champion more than 10 times.
See that guillotine with the gable grip there? That's more like that's ahead of its time, because a lot of people do the old style Hoist Gracie guillotine, which he's going to do in a second.
And has been a member of the U.S.
See the one where he grabs the back of the head, and in fact the way you can do that, I never liked that technique. That top fist, you make a ball with it, and you put the back of your fist on the back of the guy's head. It makes it tighter. But the guillotine he did before that, a lot of people would call it a modern guillotine. So, and this guy being a judo guy and highly ranked, judo is one of those sports where I really love judo. There's just nothing sweeter than seeing a really nice judo throw executed properly. Unlike mine, which are a bit kind of shit because I can't get the elevation on the people I'm trying to do hip throws on. The best one I see, and ones that inspired me, was actually not even a judo guy, is Craig Jones, BJJ guy, who when he hits a hip throw, it looks beautiful. But any great judoka, the way they hit these judo throws is just incredible.
Nationals team for 10 years. 6 feet tall and 190 pounds, Christoph will be lethal in any clinching situation.
Another one.
Hello, my name is Christoph Leininger. I'm a native Arizonan. I am a U.S. judo player. I'm ranked number 2 in the country right now, and I'm here to win the UFC.
He just looks so tough guy.
And if he's going to do it, he's going to have to go through Ken Shamrock. There's Christoph Leininger. Does he look focused?
Jim, I think this may be a surprise. I think it's going to go to the floor immediately because both of them want that. So we'll see what happens here because they're both agile on the floor.
Got his gi on.
Ken's wearing those shoes so that he has leverage. This floor is a little bit slippery if you get moisture on your feet from perspiration. So he chose that for a reason.
Yeah.
Did he just shove that guy out of the way? Someone gave him a hug, and I think he just shoved him out of the way. Let's look at
Ken's wearing those shoes so that he has leverage. This floor is a little bit slippery if you get moisture on your feet from perspiration. So he chose that for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. It looked like a
pointing to this match. These are two people that are great top.
It was very
bottom
brief. I think he
fighters.
just wants to get in there.
Let's go to the tail of the tape on these two men. Ken Shamrock, Christoph
So we got
Leininger.
here 30, 32. Leininger's was giving away 25 pounds. Being Australian, a pound always confuses the shit out of me. But, you know, sometimes everything else is just a bit more weight and muscle on Shamrock.
They're both are
By
about
the
30
looks.
years old, still in the prime of their lives. Height 6 foot, dead even, 215, 190 for Leininger. And then, of course, Lockford, California, Scottsdale, Arizona. Looks pretty even. What about the gi? The gi could play a key role in this fight.
It could play a key role in this fight. I think he's using it to keep any moisture off of him. He can also use it to his advantage.
Okay, for the introductions, let's go to the ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, our second match of the evening. Please welcome, out of the blue corner, ranked number 2 in the world by Japanese Pancrase Association in the deadly art of shoot fighting. He's 30 years old, from Lockford, California, is called back to the octagon by public demand after losing an exciting semifinal match to champion Hoist Gracie in the first Ultimate Fighting Championship. He is 6'2" and 210 pounds with a record of 45-5.
6'2".
Bring the luck of the Irish to Ken Wayne Shamrock. Shamrock.
They keep changing
Very
the measurements.
popular with the crowd. He's in all the promotion.
And please
Great
welcome
body.
the second-degree black belt fighting out of the red corner in judo. He is a competition legend, a member of the U.S. national team since 1982. He has been the Arizona State champion more than 10 times, a gold medalist at both the U.S. International Open in '87
He's
and
got
the
crazy
Coupe de
eyes,
Paris
this
in
guy.
'83.
Dead
Ranked
eyes.
number 2 in the 86-kilogram judoka in the U.S., 34 years old, 5'10", Christoph Leninger.
He's probably built under that gi.
Worn belt. He didn't wash that in Clorox and drag it behind a truck.
Yeah, this guy is very feared. He's looking forward to this. Both these men extremely intense, to say the least. This could be one of the
Get
best
over
fights
there
you
now.
see all night long.
You ready?
McCarthy.
Are you ready?
Not taking any
John
shit.
McCarthy giving the final warnings.
Here
and
goes
ready
the
to start.
clinch. Here goes the clinch.
Shamrock not known as a big puncher.
He punches when he's on the ground very effectively because he'll hold you really tight. There's no space. That hand will come around and hurt you.
He took out Pat Smith with an ankle lock.
Yes, he did. Hit him a few times too, really effectively.
See, Leninger can't really grab grips
There won't
here,
be a lot
right?
of punches in this, I don't think. I think they're just strategizing, trying to find the right way.
But
It's
he
an
probably
art
knows-
to shoot in on your opponent.
No gi judo. Fine. Trying to get in there.
Shamrock keeping him back with the
Here
hands.
we go.
Shoots.
And look at this. He
Okay,
waits for him
on
to
his
shoot
back.
and Shamrock on top of him. He knows so many submission holds at any moment it could be over.
Okay, back to Garth Leninger.
You got to think offense and defense.
You really do. Ken right now is in a really good position. He's going to put all of his weight on him here.
That's
Gotta
a
wear
Gracie
him down.
position. It reminds me, it's reminiscent of a Gracie punch. Get him
Actually-
to move his arm.
He's in Leninger's guard, actually. So Leninger's in a really good position right now if he could get out of this. He has more weapons to use because Ken's don't have both of his legs tied.
See, that's a good way to break your arm or hand is striking to the top of the other person's forehead.
Ken Shamrock extremely popular with the crowd, but taking a beating right now on the top of his head. He's going to be forced to do something.
You would think that the guy on the bottom would be the most vulnerable guy. That's true if he's in the mounted position. If he's in this position, he has a lot of leverage, actually.
It does not look like Ken has either hand. Now he has one. Now he's got two. What about that gi? It can be used for you. Right punch to the head.
Oh, this gi, if you fight a guy without a gi, it limits about 60% of his choke.
Leninger's trying to set up an
Ken
armbar
Shamrock
here, I think.
on top without the gi. On the bottom, Christoph Leninger from Scottsdale, Arizona.
There are just several few ways to break this hole where his legs are hooked around his back.
You can tell the two guys here, they've got grappling experience, right? Because Shamrock's done pancration and Leninger's a judo guy, but better than a lot of judo guys, and he knows the guard, and their conservation of energy is there. They don't, I mean, those punches looked a little bit panicky, but generally if you see the guys that are just trying it out and really just know boxing, once they get on the ground, it just panic stations, but these two are pretty relaxed.
Hey, Jim, are they jawing at each other? Can you see from your angle?
No, I don't think they're doing the jawing, big guy.
Yes.
Headbutt.
He's getting into
That was
this
a
for
headbutt.
headbutts, yes. And there's one back to you, he said.
Leninger returns, headbutt.
This is turning into the battle we all thought it would be.
These guys don't want to fight a long time here. They want to get this over as fast as they can. There are a lot of fights left tonight.
Yeah.
Second bout, Ultimate Fighting Championship. First one won by Keith Hacknett. You're looking at the second one tonight. There'll be 4 elimination bouts, then move on to the semifinals.
These guys are both schooled on the ground and have spent a lot of time doing this. And this is a chess game. Use absolutely their weight against each other, and it's just a little chess game from side to side.
More
These
rabbit
little
punches from
aren't
Leninger.
designed to knock anyone out. They're just designed to get the guy's leverage against them, to make him move or extend an arm so he could go for an arm lock or some other move. Here we go.
Yeah, Shamrock was waiting.
Yep.
Oh,
He's going
shit.
for a triangle. He slipped out of the triangle.
Yeah, to the back. Well done.
Now Ken's going for to base his leg. He's going to go for the leg instead of going for the choke right away.
Leninger's grabbing the fence,
Now
but
this
you
is
can do
reminiscent
that.
of collegiate wrestling.
You could almost set up a crucifix
Ken's
from
in a
this
good
position.
here right now.
Actually, that's not true. So if he had his right leg in between Leninger's arm and his hip, then he could reach over and grab the other arm and maybe roll over for a crucifix, but it's not quite that.
I think both men are extremely fit, so if you're thinking one's going to conk out, I
Yes,
think
you don't
you
want
gotta
to
have one left.
You don't want to be having your back exposed like that. The guy can really hurt you. You want to be on your side if you're on the bottom, and you have to be pinned in like that. You want to be on your side.
There's a little gap at the bottom of the mat between the mat and the fence. I wonder if that's going to come into play. It's easy to slip a foot back there.
It's work,
and easy to get some leverage. How disappointed is Leininger on the bottom right now?
I don't think he's disappointed. I think he's just
biding his time.
A good defense to protect himself.
And there's a reverse.
Going to roll into Shamrock. Yep. This is bad.
Watch your mat.
Now he's pinned.
This crowd here in Charlotte is simply frenzied.
Out the back door. Out the back door. Find him up.
Ouch. That was a good hit. Leonard just trying something. He's got the guard back, but his head's squashed.
Shamrock on top. He's in the red trunks.
Ken may go for a footlock here because the legs are open. They're not on his hips. Ooh. He may grab the leg and go for a footlock.
See, the problem, and I find every time I go for a foot block in jiu-jitsu, if I drop back, then I always go for the straight footlock. I'm kind of shit at them because you have to be really precise with that straight footlock, and then ultimately it just gives the other person the better position because I'll stand up and then they're above you. And then I'm not really a Berimbolo player or a De La Riva player. So, you know, I just get up. I don't really like playing. I mean, I've started to play inverted, but I just think going for a straight footlock here is a bad idea because it's giving them the opportunity to get up.
You can tell when those legs are open.
Let's get a time on this bout. Let's get a time on this bout. This is approaching one of the longest bouts we've seen here at UFC.
Up the arm.
Ken has all the leverage in the world right now.
Put your feet on the hips and get him away from you. There you go. Up kick.
Hey, Jim, you know, often we say it's a science, but I think toughness plays a lot of role in
this fight.
Oh,
that was a good hit.
You got to be a real tough guy to take this kind of punishment.
He's got his gi. He's holding the gi and holding his head in place. Tap. This guy tapped.
I think
he knew.
He just stopped it. I believe he tapped out John McCarthy. Simply jumped right in. The winner, Ken Shamrock. We're going to get a time on that bet.
So sometimes you just know you're in a shit position. Why take more damage? I don't think there's any shame in that.
Just like we thought, these two men's styles matched up perfectly. It was a chess match in many ways. Punches were thrown. You didn't see any shoulders in these punches, but two extremely strong men
a good hit.
who know how to hit for a living. Christoph Leininger is laying out right now. He's going to get some help. I believe he's exhausted, number one. And I think Shamrock's exhausted. Shamrock advances once again, Jim, just like in UFC 1, to the semifinals. A tough bout, just like Pat Smith.
Shamrock's out, and Leininger's still laying there.
He's got to feel pleased. The monkey's off his back. What about the pressure of everyone pitting you against Royce Gracie in the finals before you fought one bout? He was a wanted man in that press conference.
Well, that's absolutely right. You see, this bout
I think this hit broke him. One of these punches broke him.
Another bout before you have the chance to get the horse.
Top of the head.
Works out right.
Look at him watching Ken
He's
Shamrock
gift wrapped him.
on top of Christoph Leininger.
Bang, straight through.
Some of the last moments of the bout. And here's another angle on Ken Shamrock.
This is a good hit.
We
This
didn't see it from
right-hander.
this angle. Let's see it right here. McCarthy, the referee, in constant contact. That is 4 distinct times. It's over. It's over.
The referee's right on it.
It's unbelievable. Now we have Keith Hackney in one bracket. We are set. Ken Shamrock in the other semifinal bracket. When you talk about both fighters, who do you think is more exhausted? Who put out more energy in the first fight?
I'm exhausted listening to you.
Fights.
They were both grueling fights. I think.
Let's go to the next fight.
It's just up in the air. It depends on who gets the second win faster. Is this rest going to help? It all depends on the fighters and his adrenaline.
I think we'll just watch one more.
One semifinal bracket is set. Another one has yet to be fought for. For that, let's go to Rowan Payne.
Yeah, we'll just get into this bracket.
A native son of Charlotte, North Carolina, Roland Payne is a Muay Thai kickboxing terror. He boasts a bare-knuckle record of 27-0, 24 by knockout. At 5'9" and 205 pounds, Roland Payne is aptly named because that's what he deals out to his opponents.
My name's Roland, and I plan on introducing my opponents to some good old local Carolina pain.
Let's see what you got. If you got a wrestler, you're screwed.
There he is, the smallest man in this competition. Roland Payne, he's the local hero from Charlotte, North Carolina.
5'9".
He will face a tough customer in Harold Howard.
He looks very
this
small.
This man is focused.
Devastating elbows and knees. He's a Muay Thai practitioner, punishing guy. Watch these inside techniques.
Muay Thai boxer, shins of steel. He
Shins of
says
steel.
He likes getting hit. Is that possible? He likes getting hit?
Well, I think so. Once he gets
Sounds
tagged,
like a
I think
video
he gets
game.
into
Shins
it.
of steel.
Jim can answer that better than I can.
Yeah,
he likes getting
John
hit.
laying down the law, mate.
Time to meet another man who, ironically enough, says, I like getting hit too. His name is Harold Howard.
I remember this guy, Harold Howard. Look at his...
Harold Howard has won the Canadian Heavyweight Karate
Looks like a
Championship
Cocker Spaniel.
3 times.
Bro.
And the Canadian Heavyweight Jiu-Jitsu Championship
intensity.
twice, degree black belts in Chitu-Ryu and Goju-Ryu Karate. And is also a 3rd degree in Jiu-Jitsu Kai. A skilled puncher and kicker.
Look at his head.
Watch
That
out
mullet.
for his standing
Ooh.
techniques.
Bro, you just broke the
My name
bag.
is Harold Clarence Howard. I'm representing Canada
Yep.
and Niagara Falls in the Ultimate Fighting Challenge. We have a saying back home that if you're coming on, come on.
And here he is.
His face is already broken.
That's not a put on. He means it.
Now this is a Gracie train. We're used to seeing this with Hoist Gracie, all his brothers.
What the-
Harold Howard, the flamboyant one,
No,
Jim.
that's the Muhammad Ali. Joe
I like this
Frazier,
guy.
Professional heavyweight championship trainer.
I
It
vague
has been
memories of
adopted
him fighting.
beautifully, though.
Okay, Canadian Jiu-Jitsu champion. He's got a great background in that. He's also a friend of a favorite of ours, and that is Mr. Rozier, Kevin Rozier.
Look
who's
at
so
the
flamboyant, so
fashions.
affable earlier
Looks like a
today.
Our
backgammon
good friend Kevin
board.
is a good friend of ours, and just being his friend alone makes him a tough guy as far as I'm concerned.
And he's got a movie career. He's in a Kung Fu episode recently.
Yeah, he's done several things.
All right, let's go to the tail of the tape now. Let's see both these fighters. And here's Charlie, his manager, with the Canadian
Charlie
flag.
does look like a
Roland
manager.
Payne, kickboxing against karate.
Okay, I just think Roland's fucked, basically. Harold's a bit older, but he just looks like he's been around the block a bit. He's 5 inches taller, nearly half a foot taller, and he's heavier, 25 pounds. What's 25 pounds in kilograms, folks? Because I know I'm about 94 kilos. Anyway, let's see what happens.
30 years old, Mr. Payne, a little bit younger, a little bit shorter, too. 5'9", 6'2". Harold Howard with the advantage in weight. 1 from Charlotte, North Carolina, that's Mr. Payne. Mr. Howard from Ontario, Canada. There at 4, you saw the Canadian flag. And look at the eyes right now on Harold Howard as he returned to the match. And let's go to the Octagon announcer, Rich G-Man
Rich Goins. Goins.
Ontario, Canada sends us our next competitor out of the red corner, holding multiple black belts in Chito-Ryu and Goju-Ryu Karate
Multiple
and
black belts.
Jiu-Jitsu Kai. He has twice won the Canadian World Heavyweight Jiu-Jitsu Championship, 3-time Canadian Heavyweight Karate Champion, 6'2", 230-pound Harold Howard.
Okay, if he knows jiu-jitsu, this other guy's definitely screwed.
And please welcome out of the blue corner, 26 years old, certified in Muay Thai kickboxing through the World Headquarters Academy of Martial Arts. He holds a 3rd degree in black belt combat karate. He has a professional record of 27-0, 24 by KO, a native of Charlotte, North Carolina.
So his only chance is to kick Harold Howard in the head and knock his head off early on. Otherwise, once this is on the ground, I reckon I got my money on Howard. Harold Howard? Howard.
Please welcome Roland Payne.
Roland Payne.
For the techniques of the Muay Thai fighter to be a little more crisp on the inside. I think Harold will be a little more unorthodox. Let's check it out here. Are you ready?
Harold Howard
I'm ready.
is simply is so reminiscent of John Matuzak, if you ask me. He reminds me of John
He
Matuzak.
favors him quite a lot.
There's the punch to the head.
Karate.
He's a low
stance.
kicker.
Oh,
He
the other
goes down,
guy's
he
going for a
grapples quick.
takedown. Ooh.
What a recovery by Payne.
Yeah, he
What a
pops up
recovery.
really quick.
Okay.
Really came up quickly.
The bigger man is on his back right now.
That's surprising. Roland Payne took Harold Howard down. I don't believe that. I think he's been hustling. Either he's just watched a bit of the earlier fights and knows that he has to have some fighting skills. Maybe he's done a bit of a clinic and learned how to sit on top. But I can see right now that he's already overcommitted. Like if you look at his weight, if Harold just bumps this guy's hip, he's going to go over. Like that.
Roland Payne is reversed.
That was a great arm escape, elbow escape.
Bit of wrestling.
Suplex.
And over
Yeah,
the top,
suplex.
a double reverse.
Uh-oh.
Those are the shins of steel. They're going
Pins
right
of
into his
steel.
ribs.
Oh, go Harold. Hockey fight. Oh, shit. He dropped him.
Strong technique. You saw him shatter.
This was a give and take bout, and just when it looked as though Payne was getting in control,
That must have hurt him.
One shot.
One shot. The referee saw it.
Harold Howard advances. 6'2", 230 pounds from Ontario, Canada. The Canadian
Look at his
Jiu-Jitsu
manager.
champion for 2 past years.
Manager
Let's
looks
take
like a
look
pimp.
at replay. It still has Rowan Payne out. Look at Payne.
So he backs him
He's the
up.
aggressor there. A kick
Another
again.
kick.
That's as many kicks as we've
Harold
seen
comes
this
in.
tournament.
I think it's an uppercut, is it?
Pushing the bigger man back. Howard throws a right, and there's the uppercut.
Uppercut. I think it's the
Now,
uppercut
Rowan
and
looks
the
like
back of the
he's
head, left,
there.
right.
And there it is. Right on the temple.
Three in a row. Bang. Oh, and
Referee
another
John
one.
McCarthy jumps in right
Guy
away.
taps.
It's a good thing, though. Rowan Payne, the hometown guy,
Bang.
was tapping
One.
out. For more, let's go to Ben Perry. And we're not going to go right now because
Three. And then he gets him
Harold
on the way
Howard
down.
elected to go back. Check
What a
this out.
fight, what a
Ben, as
fight.
you rejoin us at this, it looked like he was out on the way
Hammer
down.
fist.
You know what? He never stopped his intensity from the time the thing started.
That was brutal.
No one had an absolute hold on either one of them. They were so quick when the initial move started that they spun out.
It's a great fight.
It was an excellent
The
fight.
heart of those two men were unbelievable. They went after it.
And very good technique. And every single, the closest weapon to the other person at any one given time was delivered. I'm very impressed with these guys, both of them.
Both are so very tough. And I tell you, Hoist Gracie,
Walk straight out.
you see Gary Busey, famed Hollywood actor Gary Busey over there in the corner.
The strength of Howard seems.
You know what?
Bang,
It was a
that
straight
was
right hand. That's the
nasty.
hand we saw him break that cement bag.
Bang.
It was a cement bag that he hit
Yes.
and broke.
Well,
Yeah.
on his feature.
Well, you
you're
really
referring
think he
to.
broke that bag?
I
Yeah.
know he broke that bag. I saw him break another bag just a few seconds
Okay.
ago.
Now I
that
think-
was the one I saw.
I think Rowan Payne is sure that he broke that bag
Wow.
right now because it's amazing to have that kind of power in your forearms and in your shins when it comes to Rowan Payne. Time to look at our final bout in the quarterfinal round. This is the last of the qualifying round. Who
Okay.
will face Harold Howard in that punch? It'll be this man, two-time defending champion, who has to beat Chemo first. His name is Hoist Gracie. Let's get an up-close look at Hoist Gracie.
All right, let's watch this fight and then we'll be done. And
A
then I'll
fourth
watch
degree black belt
the rest
in
later
the
on.
art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Hoist Gracie is the undefeated Ultimate Fighting Champion, a title which has earned him more than $110,000 in prize money. At only 176 pounds, he is again the lightest competitor in the tournament. But that hasn't stopped him so far. A master grappler, expect Hoist to take his opponents to the ground, where he can apply his devastating chokes and joint locks.
Hi, I'm Hoist Gracie, and I'm back to defend my title as the Ultimate Fighting Champion.
And there's the train I referred to,
Yes,
the Gracie train.
Horian's son leading the way. There's the Grandmaster himself, Elio Gracie, behind him. There's Helson, the older brother. All these guys are deadly. There's no question about it. The whole clan is there. Hoist right there.
Like, Horian and his brother, they're about 30-something now.
Was extremely loose on the way up. I talked about it in my open.
That's a lot of family to beat, Brian.
He goes in, not only all these fighters go in representing their art and themselves. Here, he represents his family's art and himself.
That's the Hoist move we see, the way he saunters across the mat. It's his unique style. He's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Now here's a guy that's ready to meet him. His name is Chemo.
This is special. Chemo, look at him.
Like the biblical Samson and David before him, Chemo believes he is a warrior in the service of the Lord and has dedicated his efforts in the octagon to his faith. This
Jesus.
third-degree black belt in the art of Taekwondo is a practicing minister who travels 6 months out of the year preaching the gospel. At 6'2" and 240 pounds, with an incredible 5% level of body fat, this phenomenally conditioned fighter plans to administer a little chemotherapy.
That looks
to
more
his
than 5
opponents
to me.
tonight.
My name is Chemo Leopoldo. I'm originally from Hawaii. I'm fighting out of Huntington Beach, California. My purpose here is to bring the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the whole world.
This is the bit I remember about this event. Chemo comes in with it. Look at this.
There were two fighters. Two fighters
With the
back
cross.
in the old days. Two great
On the
champions
cross.
in their own right. Howard Jackson, John Natividad. We call them swivel hips because they could stand there and hit you with a round kick or a heel kick without bending over. Chemo can do that.
And Chemo's here on the cross. Never seen anything quite like this before.
Hard to get into the car. Don't knock anyone's head
Kimo
off.
is the type of fighter we understand. Is Larry, he got his money, he got his reputation fighting in the streets. Like Charles
Well done,
Bronson in
Kimo.
hard times.
When I say he goes around the world 6 months of the year spreading the word, this is what I mean.
This guy's like, where am I going to put this
Definitely
fucking
on
cross
the
now? Okay.
Royce is just fixated on Kimo as he enters the ring. Kimo, a fine physical specimen with a very distinctive tattoo.
Very, very unique individual.
He's bringing a lot of things with him.
Yes.
On paper, this looks really bad for Royce. I mean, I was just thinking then, if the draw had been different, you know, if Royce had, the lightest guy, had been got Yarborough, that could have been different. But I think that the Gracies had some influence over this event, or they were definitely there in the seminal days. I think that they actually, it was their idea. So maybe they would have just ensured that, you know, and fair enough. I mean, that you have your lightest guy not fight the heaviest guy in the first bracket.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
A lot of props.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We're about to get underway with the final bout in our qualifying round for the fighter introductions as he makes his way into the ring.
Kimo's so intense.
G-Man Goins.
Ladies
Goins.
and gentlemen, our fourth preliminary bout. Please welcome out of the red corner, a practicing minister, 26 years old. He's a native of Hawaii. Preaching the gospel and perfecting the art of Taekwondo. A third-degree black belt, 6'2", 250 pounds.
Wrong guy.
Please welcome Kimo.
That's Royce. The camera guy in the switching room doesn't know who's who.
Welcome back our 28-year-old two-time defending champion from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Fighting out of the blue corner, 6'1", 176 pounds. He has won over $110,000 with a record of 50.
Thing is, right, the story goes that in the original UFC, to prove the system, the Gracies said, we're not going to put Hickson in, the superstar. We're going to put in the lightest guy, which was Royce, to prove the system works. And they succeeded.
8-1, the undisputed Ultimate Fighting Champion, Royce Gracie.
Royce Gracie has a following here. Everyone knows who he is. He's done the interviews. He's got a hit video.
Do they
on
ever?
UFC 2. And he's finally getting some of the acclaim he
Get over
deserves.
there.
And they're about to mix it up now.
And he's got a lot of talent.
You won't see the intensity that came from the other fighters. You'll see a very strategic guy here.
You saw a kick by Royce. This is the longest we've seen him standing up.
He doesn't want to go to the ground. Kimo's
See,
really
Royce is trying to
fighting
engage
not
with
to go to the ground.
Kimo.
The strength on Kimo is incredible.
Kimo's very strong, but you got to stick to him.
There's the-
That bloody door's opened again. The cameraman's almost in the fight.
Standing up on his 2 feet.
Yes, great balance Kimo has. Great balance. Strong legs. Very low center of gravity.
Kimo pushing out with that huge upper body.
It's amazing how strong Royce is compared to Kimo.
In all the bouts that Royce has had, he's only fought a total of 10 minutes, maybe closer to 11. But that's all that Royce's been in the ring. Kimo is keeping Royce on his feet. He's got to feel good about what he's
The
done
trainer's
so far.
right in his ear.
Royce is 7-0 in UFC competition. He's never really been in danger.
Hey, Button, get up!
And there's the headbutt. There's the knee to the groin. He's got to get him to the ground. He's got
Gotta
to
get him
knock
to the ground,
Kimo
yeah.
down.
He can't
And you see
separate.
his dad, Helio, 82 years old, coaching him right behind him.
Right there. His strategy right now is to just hold on to him, tie him up to keep him getting hit. He just doesn't want to get hurt or hit right now. Kimo's using a lot of energy to stay on his feet.
There you
Yeah,
go.
here we go.
Oh shit!
Here we go.
He's on Royce's back.
Kimo on top.
This is okay. Royce will roll out on his side here. Royce will just use his elbows and roll out. He'll spin if he can to try to turn. Kimo's trying to get hooks into the leg so he
Kimo's
can maintain
trying.
that position.
Kimo says he's been working extensively on grappling.
Yes,
to deal
he
with a
has.
man who's
You
been
would be
doing it all
panicking
his
a bit
life.
if you were
Let's see how much
Gracie.
he could pick up.
He's got to stay on the back.
Watch Royce just slide out of this technique.
The gi looks like it's covering his head.
Now, Kimo is holding on to Royce's left leg on the gi. That's what's keeping him from getting out of this position right now.
There we go. Royce is now where he wants to be.
Kimo exhausted.
Full mount. Powers out of it, but that's all right.
Both men showing great endurance.
Full guard. He's controlling his arm.
With his right arm.
Stopping the strikes.
Royce Gracie's in a battle here. There's no question
I know
about it.
we're going for that.
He is
He's
in
giving
a
his
battle.
back again.
And his gi is virtually off.
Trying to get back. He's made more work for himself.
Very strong man. It's very hard to get a grip on him with his perspiration on him.
Both men from the West Coast. Kimo from Hawaii. This is the longest fight. It passes Ichihara in
Oh, he's got
total
his hair.
He's grabbing the hair. That is perfectly legal. 3 minutes and 12 seconds in. Gracie on his back, but a lot of times that's his best offense.
That's fine.
Is it Omoplata or he's trying
A
to...
lot of energy. It's the most endurance I've seen out of Royce yet.
There you go.
And there's the punch. Kimo's
He's
tremendous
holding his
fitness is
head.
certainly helping him. I'll tell you, his hair is hurting him right now.
Yeah, it is. It gives him leverage to hold on here. It's a great fight. Just a great
Kimo's
fight.
got his
A lot longer than I
left hand
And the
across
image of
Royce's
Helio,
throat.
the master, the man who came up with Gracie Jiu-Jitsu on
You have
the
to do what
apron
you
of the
can.
ring, looking at his son, knowing he represents the legacy, the family, as well as a UFC title, 2-time defending title holder. She's shouting instructions. And let's see Royce, if he start maneuvering those legs. He's been compared, Jim, in your own words, to a boa constrictor.
Striking from the bottom.
Big Royce's mouthpiece is out.
Royce looks like he's got some
Royce
scrapes on
trying
his
to
forehead.
break the grips.
Suplex here.
Kimo's
Get his
bleeding.
weight on him. Royce should just sit down and put all his weight so he can't lift him off the ground here. Yes.
Oh, he's going for a Kimura then.
And right now, the endurance factor is playing such a role. You're
Here
looking
we
at
go.
it, 4.5 minutes.
Here comes an armbar.
We've never seen anything like this. This is half the total he had in 2 UFC
That's an armbar.
bouts.
Totally unexpected. Royce is trying to get the arm.
And look at this.
He's trying to get the arm
an
here.
arm lock.
Tap.
He's trying to get an arm lock.
He's got him.
And that's
Kimo
it.
tapped
Kimo
out.
tapped.
What a great fight that was.
Amazing. Great fight.
And there it is.
Unbelievable.
Kimo is okay.
Unbelievable.
He hit him.
One of the best
He opened him
bouts
up.
in the history of the UFC.
The damage that was done by Royce was done when Royce was on the bottom. Extreme leverage from those punches, unexpected. What a match that was.
And right now, Royce Gracie advances. A big question is how
Sean
much
McCarthy's
more
like,
left.
get the fuck out of the
What a
ring.
shot by Kimo. You're getting a shot of Kimo. He's exhausted. But what a tremendous effort.
Wow.
He's standing with great pride now. And Royce is injured. He's limping.
Yes, he is.
Good fight.
He's limping, and they didn't even shake hands at the end of the bout. There's a lot of worry in the Gracie corner. Let's go to a replay.
He has him in the arm lock. He's been trying to get it for a long time, but Kimo kept his arm bent. He couldn't get it. Every time he went for it, Kimo would bend his arm to keep and roll to the inside to keep the leverage from coming off. Royce finally locked it in, got his foot around, extended his hips. All the strength he had left, put the arm out. Kimo could barely tap. That's what he had.
That's
so
incredible,
little left in him. He could barely
considering
tap
the size
it.
difference.
Kimo went to school on Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. The things he was doing, Ben, only by listening to you talk and by watching both these tournaments, as Royce
They're
lives
both
right by.
fucking
this
exhausted.
Won't even attempt an interview at this point.
Wow.
He went to school on Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, and I'll tell you, he has nothing to be ashamed of, but it's only one arm lock away from ending, and we just saw it. Just a moment of
Royce is not well,
a
though.
little
He
bit
doesn't
of
look good.
exhaustion, and suddenly it reverses.
Absolutely. It looked like a reoccurring injury. Royce hurt his neck a few weeks right before the fight. Didn't train at all because of the pain in his neck. It was really devastating.
Oh,
No
he's
one
hurt
could
his
roll
neck.
with him, so he just took it off. So a little endurance was a factor here, but what a great fight that was.
And Kimo goes out of his own power. Royce with tremendous amount of help, and he is hurting.
It's like a
Look at
straight
Royce's
Look at
legs.
this replay.
hips
Legs
down
are extended.
armbar.
Kimo can barely tap with that one hand. It is so much. Royce finally gets the leverage on it, and I think it was because of the armband on Kimo's hand that allowed him to get that grip because of the perspiration.
What about the gi? I've never seen the gi over his head. It was actually not a weapon this time.
Not at all. That's fine. That really doesn't come into play that often, Brian.
Yeah, we do have an announcement to make. Felix Lee Mitchell will replace Keith Hackney. He is the alternate, Felix Lee Mitchell is. And Keith Hackney, although he...
Okay, so we'll leave it there for today. That's UFC 3, The American Dream. And that's like the first half. So we'll come and have a look at the second half shortly.